The movie starts with Nina, a successful journalist, enjoying time with her two lovely daughters until her husband, Musiek, shows up. The girls quickly run to hug their caring dad.
Hey!
But he and Nina give each other a weird look. When the girls walk away, Nina goes to say hello to her husband, but he acts a little cold. A moment later, Musiek looks at his wife and tells her he doesn't like how she looks or the colors she's wearing. The next day, Nina goes to work like usual, but when she gets there, she gets a big surprise. The assistant she asked for a few weeks ago is Yannick, a young man she used to have a strong romantic relationship with a long time ago. Later, Nina starts to talk to Yannick a little to learn about what has happened in the last few years, but mostly to bring him up to speed on business topics. During the chat, Agnieszka interrupts and starts asking Yannick some flirty questions to get information from him. As they talk, she openly flirts with him and invites him to her house. Nina tells him to stop and reminds him that they are at work. He shouldn't act like that, especially not with someone who is new to the company. Yannick wants to keep chatting with Nina, but she wants them to focus on their work. Nina gets a call from her mom, who asks what to bring for dinner. Nina remembers that they had made plans and pretends that everything is fine. She calls Maciek right away and asks him to pick up the girls from school because she needs more time to get everything ready before her parents come home. But he tells her he can't because he has a work meeting. After this, Maciek goes to a restaurant and meets Eliza, someone he has been trying to hire for his company for a while. Nina gets to school and sees a friend. She had asked her friend to pick up her daughters, but the friend says that when she got there, the girls were already leaving with their grandmother. Nina realizes that their mother remembered she forgot to pick them up. When she gets home, she sees her dad, who tries to help her sort out the details so she can relax. He begins to point out that Maciek needs to stop focusing so much on work and pay more attention to her. Even though Nina tries to explain herself, her father tells her that there are no excuses for being a good husband. At dinner, Nina's mom brings out a cake and talks about love, praising them for being a happy family. Maciek quickly blows out the candles, which makes everyone laugh, but it doesn't make Nina's dad happy. In the evening, he again doesn't show much love for his wife, using their daughter to break up their special time together.
Okay.
The next day, Nina and Janik start brainstorming ideas for articles. They decide to look into how people feel about their bodies. This leads them to have a thoughtful conversation that reminds them of a time in their youth when they discussed a similar topic. In the present, Janik makes Nina feel awkward with a remark about love. This makes her accidentally spill her coffee, and a picture of her family falls out. Janik is surprised and feels a little sad when he sees it. A new memory shows that they used to think of girl names, and even though Janik doesn't know, Nina named her daughters those names. Janik's older sister visits him and quickly sees that he is in love after listening to him for a moment. After asking him some questions, she learns that the woman Janik loves is older than him and already married. So, she tells him that she won't help him if he gets into any trouble. In the evening, Nina gets a message from Janik. He tries to talk to her about the article they need to write. Maciek stops her to say that he has made the toast. So Nina says goodbye and goes to the living room. Maciek tells her that he is really happy because Eliza signed the contract. She also says that she has moved her business trip to an earlier date. This makes Nina really angry. She scolds him for leaving her alone during such a tough time of the year, and then she storms out of the room. The next day at breakfast, Maciek tells the girls and Nina that he will take them to his mom's house for 3 days so Nina can rest. At work, Nina is trying to take some pictures for her article, but Janelle stops her. When they accidentally run into each other, it causes some awkwardness between them. When she gets home, she finds out that Maciek is leaving for his trip that day, so she won't take the girls to her mom's house. Nina is really angry about this, but she starts to care less and less about her husband. In her free time, Nina goes out to dinner with Janik. She enjoys it a lot, especially because Janik is kind and pays attention to her. He even gives her his jacket. While they are eating dinner, Janik begins to take photos of her, and she does the same back. At night, they both look at the pictures closely. The next day, Janek tries to flirt with Nina while they are working, but Nina gets an emergency call and quickly leaves. When she gets home, she calls Maciek to see if he moved the emergency kit because Susa is sick and needs something to lower her fever. Maciek tells her that he grabbed the first aid kit and his phone battery is dying. So she quickly ends the call and leaves Nina to handle things on her own. Janek and Agnieszka step outside the office. As usual, Agnieszka tries to flirt with Janek, but he gets a phone call from Nina. She needs help with Susa, so he leaves Agnieszka waiting. Janek comes to Nina's house with all the medicine for Susa, which makes the girl curious. In the evening, Nina is surprised to find a yummy dinner ready for her. Janek also left a note saying he is willing to help her with anything she needs. The next day, Janek goes to Nina's house with some food and soon starts to win her liking and trust. At dinner, Susa watches how Janek and Nina look at each other. Then, she boldly tells Janek to leave the house. Nina confronts the girl about it, but Janek comforts her and says he will go. As the two were saying goodbye, things got really intense and it nearly ended in a kiss, but then Nina's phone rang and Janek walked away. When she picks up the phone, she learns that Maciek was trying to talk to the girls. During the call, Lena talks about Janek, which makes Maciek feel uneasy. Nina then says that Janek is just a coworker who happened to be around when Maciek was not there. The next day, Nina's mom comes to help the girls because Maciek told her what happened. While Nina and her mom were fighting about it, Lena arrived and told her mom to send Janek back to do the shopping. While working, Nina tells Janek something, but then he slowly moves closer to her and they begin to kiss passionately. A moment later, Maciek calls her on the phone, but she quickly hangs up on him, saying she is too busy at work. When Nina gets home, her mother asks her a lot of questions. Nina's mother comes in with her daughter's servant but says she's only asking because she wants the best for her. The next day, Janek and Nina discuss their article on the street, but a bike almost hits Nina. Janek helps her, but they both feel a lot of tension. This leads to a late-night meeting at Janek's house, where they finally get to do what they have been wanting to do since the start of the movie. Maciek video calls his daughters to ask Nina what happened, and he finds out that she was out all night. Nina arrives and says she was working late, which makes Maciek feel worried. The next day, Nina and Janek decide to spend their day off at a spa to relax. When they leave, they go to a lake, and Janek invites Nina to move in with him to start a new family. But Nina tells him that she feels stuck and doesn't know what to do next.
Nina?
In the evening, Nina's mom sees her daughter crying a lot and can't be comforted. She tells her that she loves Janek. The woman comforts her and says she should stop seeing him if she doesn't want Maciek and their daughters to get hurt. She also says that it's a choice she needs to make soon. The next day at work, Janek tells Nina he has another job offer. Nina pleads with him to take it and to stop seeing her. She starts crying and explains that her life is a mess. He tries to make her feel better, but he sees that Nina's troubles are too heavy for her. While in Iceland, Maciek thinks about everything happening around him. When he hears a sad love story from one of his travel friends, he starts to question his own feelings. Nina meets her dad in the park to talk about what's going on in her life. He gives her the same advice as her mom, but he also tells her that the girls will be very unhappy if she and Maciek stay in a sad and unhappy marriage. After this, Nina runs to Janek's house, and they have a wild time together. But her phone accidentally called Maciek, so he heard everything. After taking a walk for a bit, he called Nina to confront her. Nina quickly goes back to Janek's house and tells him everything that happened. She warns him that she plans to go to Iceland to speak with Maciek and sort things out. The next day, Maciek sees a young man who is not awake and calls for help. He stays with the young man until help arrives. Meanwhile, a woman from the rescue team goes to the airport to find Nina. At the same time, Maciek goes down into the crack in the ground to help the man. He is able to tell the rescue team exactly where they are, but then he has a bad accident and passes out. The woman gets the news and takes Nina to the hospital. When she gets there, she talks to the doctor taking care of Maciek. The doctor says that her husband is very serious and they will know more in a few days. Nina calls Janek to tell him she won't be back for a few days because Maciek has had an accident. The next day, he surprises her at the hospital and tells her that he will be gone for a bit so she can have time to think. After this, Nina sees her husband wake up from his coma. She tries to call the doctor, But he tells her to take her time because he wants to say sorry for not loving her well and promises to be better. She grabs his hand, but he is scared because he can't feel her arm. In the end, Nina leaves the hospital and goes to a dock, where she pauses to look at the waves. And here is where the movie ends.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and smash the bell button. Write in the comments section what kind of movie you would like to see next.